Hi, my name is Max, and welcome back to Let's Talk About Listening. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram at LTAL_Graycom. And I'm joined with,
Hi, I'm Ava.
all right, and today's topic is Frank Ocean.
Yes.
So let's get right into it. So, Ava, what's your experience been with Frank Ocean? Like, sort of tell me about that.
So I think Frank Ocean is such a cool artist. I think in today's day and age of like tons of rap music, tons of hip hop, and tons of, super girly Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo music.
Yeah.
Swifties don't come for me. But I think that he is such a cool artist. And I think that there's a lot of artists really similar to him. I think we have Steve Lacy, we have Tyler, we have SZA, we
Totally.
have Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
And I think that his music is just so beautiful. I think that it fits so many occasions. It talks about love and it just talks about introspection, so many cool different things. So I think it's just so unique.
Totally, yeah. You mentioned it. You mentioned it about it being unique, and I feel like even though Steve Lacy and Tyler and other artists like that, there's just something so like personal and like unique about like individually
Yeah.
like Frank Ocean. Like I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no,
but
it
like
does.
there's something so distinct about like Frank Ocean that just really like sets him apart from all the other artists. Like you hear a certain song, like even just his voice, like I don't know. Whenever I hear a track and I'm like, oh, like that's Frank Ocean. Like yeah, like you could just you pick him out. He's got such a distinct sound, such a distinct sort of like tone that you
Yeah.
can just like pick him out.
He has such a smooth voice. Like his music is so good and it fits in so well with other artists too, especially
Yeah.
in that realm. And then also like he's done music with Kanye, he's done music with A$AP Rocky and a bunch of other artists, and it fits in so well in so many different places.
Totally, totally. Yeah. When did you first become a Frank Ocean fan? If you can
So-
sort of like remember.
Yeah, no, so Frank Ocean's definitely a newer thing, I would say within the past year or so.
Okay.
Even though he's probably been making music. I think he's been making music since like 2011
Yeah.
on Tumblr, which is so cool.
I know, isn't that crazy?
It's so cool, but his music definitely became popular and like listening to the popular music like Pink and White and Ivy, and then experiencing more of his music and going into Channel Orange and Blonde
Right.
and his singles. I'm just like, wow, this is such a cool artist. Yeah, so it's definitely been a newer thing.
He's very cool, and like I feel like it's so interesting to just sort of like look at how he's like sort of evolved over the past 10 years or so, because
Yeah.
he doesn't really release much. He has a
No.
total of 2 studio albums and a couple of singles here and there, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's featured on some stuff, but like in terms of like actually like putting out music and putting out content, like
He's very mysterious.
very mysterious.
very
And I
mysterious.
feel like that almost adds to like, sort of like the whole marketing thing that he's got going on. Because like, it's almost that like less is more kind of thing. Like there's only 2 Frank Ocean albums in existence. And if you take somebody like, I don't know, Bruce Springsteen, who me and Charlie Bell talked about on this show earlier, he's got like 21 studio albums. So
Wow.
like he's got music for days.
Yeah.
Whereas like Frank Ocean, it's like
2 albums.
2 albums.
He has Nostalgia Ultra, and you can't even get that on Spotify.
Exactly.
anymore.
Like it's so like hard to find. Like he doesn't have a whole lot of stuff
Yeah.
available, which I feel like makes like
It adds to the allure.
Yeah,
Adds to the smoke
exactly.
screen that is Frank Ocean.
totally like it adds to like the I don't know, just like the as you said, like adds to the allure of like, oh, like he only has like 2 studio albums, like
But everything is so well crafted.
Exactly.
I think like Channel Orange and Blonde are such distinct albums,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I think that his music is just so well planned out.
It
And his
is, yeah.
singles, yeah.
And can we talk about lyricism for a second? Because
Yeah,
I
of
feel like
course.
he's a really great writer. I don't know if you've noticed that at all.
Oh
but
yeah, no. Listening to his music, and I'm just like, wow, this is a really beautiful song. And then you pull up the lyrics on Spotify, and you start reading the lyrics, and
Like,
you're like,
whoa.
oh my god.
Yeah,
You're like,
whoa,
wow.
whoa.
You read the lyrics, and you're like, this guy knows how to write music. It's one thing to know
Totally.
how to sing, but it's another thing to know how to write music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. Do you know anything about his sort of like early career? I know you mentioned something about Tumblr, but I mean, I'm not honestly very familiar with sort of how he got started making music,
Yeah, so he grew up in California,
Okay.
and then he moved to New Orleans. He lived there for pretty much most of his early childhood life, went to high school there, and then was at college at the University of New Orleans. And then Hurricane Katrina hit, and he was already pretty into music. He liked working at studios, and when his whole studio was destroyed because of
Oh,
Katrina,
because of Hurricane Katrina, yeah.
yeah, then he decided to move back to California, and he
Okay.
decided to really start on his music career.
Huh.
So he wrote music. He wrote music for Justin Bieber. He wrote Bigger for Justin Bieber.
Really?
And then, then he wrote I Miss You for Beyonce. And if you listen to I Miss You, I'm like, you can hear that this is made by Frank Ocean. It's just...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll have to go give it a listen because I had no idea that he like wrote for other people before he started, putting stuff out for himself,
And then he started working with, ironically, Tyler the Creator. He's on Flower Boy.
Yes.
We love Flower Boy.
Love Flower Boy.
You love 9/11, Mr. Lonely. I love
yeah.
Where This Flower Blooms. And then Tyler kind of was like, you should start making music.
Yeah.
And then he released Nostalgia Ultra on Tumblr. He did it without his label knowing because they weren't supportive of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so he just kind of like went and did his own thing.
Yeah, he just kind of released it on Tumblr, was like, here's Nostalgia Ultra. And it was really, really big. Jay-Z saw it, Kanye West saw it, and then he was featured on their album, Watch the Throne, which is really, really big.
Yeah.
So he definitely blew up really fast.
Yeah. Huh. That's crazy. I had no idea that he, just sort of like went behind his you said his producer's back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wild. Huh. And what about his singles?
Yeah.
What you want to talk like singles for a second? Because obviously his first big single was Novocaine, right?
Love Novocaine.
Oh, such a good song.
Such a beautiful song. We had Novocaine, and then we had Swim Good, I believe it's what it's called.
Yeah, let me fact check that.
Yeah, it's Swim Good, and then Novocaine, and then he released Think About You, and that was a single, and then that was released onto Channel Orange, which was released in 2012. So he had 3 singles, and then it was Channel Orange.
Yeah, out of your singles, what's your go-to Frank Ocean single?
Novocaine is definitely my go-to.
That's fair.
But I love Swim Good. Swim Good's really good, and then his singles after Blonde too, like what was In My Room?
Yeah,
was really, really big on TikTok.
Yep.
That's a really good one. Chanel was really big too. So his singles are really good.
Yeah, totally. Novocaine takes number 1 for me. There's something about that song. It's like it's so like
the intro.
Yeah, the intro. It's so intense, but it also like it's like whoa, like you listen to this and you're like wow, this guy's like he's really going through it. Like Novocaine, numb the pain, numb the pain, numb the pain. Like that's like oh my gosh, like whoa, crazy song. What are your top 3, Frank Ocean songs? Now that we're sort of talking about, favorites and singles and all that. Like if you had to just, handpick 3 different Frank Ocean songs, either that he's like featured in or, singles or just stuff from his album, like what are you going to if somebody's like, yo, play some Frank Ocean? Like what are you putting on aux?
So Pink and White is definitely number 1.
Okay.
Arguably his biggest hit, has over almost 1 billion streams right now on Spotify. Almost there. That is just such a beautiful song. The lyrics and the vocals at the end, so beautiful. Novocaine's number 2, honestly.
Okay.
I love that song. And then 3 is Lost from Channel Orange, another big hit.
Okay.
But yeah, I also like that one too.
Nice. That's good stuff. I'd actually have to put Lost probably at my number 1.
Really?
I just really love Lost. Like it's just I don't know. I just love the melody, Like it's so catchy.
It is.
Maybe put Novocaine at like 2 or 3. But I don't know. Call me basic, but like Thinking About You. I just love
Thinking About
Thinking About You, And I know it was popular on like, TikTok and Vine and all that.
But it's the reason they're popular.
Exactly. Like I don't know. They're just really really good songs too, And Pyramids. I really love Pyramids too. Maybe we could have, put Pyramids as like an honorable mention kind of thing,
My honorable mention is definitely an unreleased. It's Wise Man. I don't remember when it was unreleased or when it was released.
Yeah.
But another beautiful song. It's been released, I think, on TikTok, Instagram, all over, but unreleased. We need him to release it, Frank Ocean. If you're watching this, please release Wise Man. But
Frank Ocean, if you're watching this, please release it.
Release Wise Man.
Yeah.
But that's my honorable mention.
Yeah, Wise Man. And you said that was unreleased, right?
Yeah, it's unreleased. Yeah, you just got to look it up on.
Yeah, because I don't
Spotify.
think I've ever heard that.
No, it's usually like a podcast or something that people release on Spotify, and they usually get taken down. But
do you know when he like made it?
I don't know when he made it, but yeah, it's another good one.
That's interesting. Wow. And Channel Orange. Tell me about Channel Orange. Are you because obviously he only has 2 albums, so you're more of a Channel Orange or more of a Blonde kind of person?
So I used to be more Blonde kind of person, but after really listening to the albums a lot, I think I'm definitely leaning towards Channel Orange a little bit more. I think Channel Orange, well, it's all about love first. It's all about Frank Ocean's first love.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see that in Lost. You can see that in Thinking About You. You can see that in a ton of the songs. Sierra Leone, it's really good. It has a nice vibe going on.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I like about his is that a lot of the songs really flow well together. So he has Fertilizer. He has a lot of speaking parts in his songs too. So he has a couple tracks in each album with Blonde too, where sometimes it's like his mom talking, sometimes it's singing. He has Facebook story and Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
But Channel Orange is definitely, it's all about love, and it's all about, you know, it's kind of innocent, but I like the album a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's very sort of like intimate, you know?
It is.
Like
it's
very
intimate.
and it flows really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also more of a Channel Orange kind of guy than I
Mm-hmm.
am Blonde. Mainly because I think that Channel Orange is more like upbeat, you know?
It is upbeat,
and it's less like it's arguably less sad, you know, than Blonde, you know?
Blonde has a lot of slower songs.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of really cool vocals in it.
Yeah.
Acoustics and whatever, but yeah, it's definitely way more upbeat.
And don't get me wrong, I love that. I
Blonde's
definitely
really
think
cool.
Blonde has its place, you know, in the music world. Like it's one of, you know, the best albums of, you know, at least I think one of the best albums of, you know, the 2010s, you know.
Totally, yeah.
But there's just something about Channel Orange that like it's so pure, it's so intimate, and like it flows really well, you know?
well. I can always appreciate an artist when you're listening to their album and you don't notice a song jump.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, wow.
When it's just so seamless from like song to song, it's like it's more of an experience than it actually is just like, oh, like I'm gonna throw my AirPods in and listen to an album kind of thing, you know? Because I feel like some artists, it's like, okay, like they put out another album, but it's so like choppy, like it feels like each song is just like it feels like a bunch of singles just sort of like thrown into an album.
Yeah.
Whereas like Channel Orange, like it flows really well, you know?
It flows really well, and each album is so distinct too. I think a lot of other artists, you know, a lot of their albums are pretty similar.
Yeah.
You know, if it's talking about love or it's talking about whatever, and you know, these are two very distinct albums. You're either a Channel Orange person or you're a Blonde person.
That's so true. Yeah, no, I mean it's sort of like polarizing, you know. But even just within Channel Orange, like each song is so like different from like it's sort of like an emotional like roller coaster that he goes on. Like I love like how he sort of like portrays, you know, his first love as just sort of this like, you know, up and down journey because each song is so different. Like, you know, we go from Lost to Thinking About You to Pyramids. Like it's just sort of this like, you know, emotional roller coaster kind of thing. It's totally all over the place, but he makes it work. You know, like he makes it like everything just sort of like flows really well together, and that's what I really like about the album that I think a lot of other artists just don't really do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you have upbeat songs like you have Pyramids, which is a really upbeat intro, and then you have a song like Sierra Leone, which is a very smooth, very low key song. And yeah, he makes it work.
Totally makes it work. I feel like Tyler the Creator also does something sort of similar, especially in his albums. Like I feel like his albums typically flow.
His albums flow
pretty
so
well.
So well.
I don't know. I sort of group Frank Ocean and Tyler the Creator into sort of the same category. Like obviously, you know, they're different artists and they have different strengths and weaknesses. But whenever Frank Ocean comes to mind, Tyler the Creator follows soon after, and then vice versa. You know,
they're friends too. I think I remember when Frank Ocean won one of his first Grammys. I think Tyler was with him.
Really?
When he won, I think for Channel Orange. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Tyler was with him at the Grammys, which is super cool.
Yeah, totally. Are you more of a Tyler fan or a Frank Ocean fan?
Right now I would definitely say Frank, but
okay.
I think that Tyler also has really cool music. His is definitely more upbeat than Frank's.
Yes.
Frank's is definitely more chill, where Tyler definitely has a lot more upbeat songs. He also has more music out.
Totally.
But
a lot more music.
A lot more music out.
Yeah.
But they're definitely very distinct artists, but they're definitely, you can see how they're definitely pairing off one another, and like where Frank Ocean kind of got mentored by. You know, you kind of group them in the same like artist field.
Totally. Like hip hop, sort of like indie hip hop.
Yeah,
like, sort of that indie hip hop. I don't know if that's the correct term. I just feel like that's
like
kind
chill
of
R&B
chill
music.
R&B. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, no, both Tyler the Creator and Frank Ocean, just such great artists. And you know, I love Flower Boy. I love me some Flower Boy. I do love Flower Boy. I think it's Tyler's best album.
I think it's Call Me When You Get Lost, but that's
okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
No, that's fair. Call Me When You Get Lost is great. I just love Flower Boy just because it's so, I don't know. It's about love, you know? Like it's sort of like, you know, about Tyler's experiences with love and just like all that. And like, you know, 911 Mr. Lonely featuring Frank Ocean.
And Steve Lacy
And
too.
Steve Lacy. And Steve Lacy. Like
trio
that
right there.
is a golden trio. Like it's such, what a great song. Anyway, back to Frank Ocean. I get sidetracked, you know. But let's talk about Ocean 16. Like, what's the deal with that? What's going on there?
So this, I guess, also adds to Frank Ocean's allure, but
Mm-hmm.
Ocean 16, and also there was another one, I think it's called Blonded.
Yep.
But it's basically where he released a bunch of unreleased music on Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
but he's constantly taking it down.
I know.
It's kind of annoying because I was listening to American Wedding yesterday, which was on Ocean 16,
Yeah.
and I go to listen to it today, and it's gone.
Right.
So there's only one song on Ocean 16 right now, and then there's around 4 or 5 songs on Blonded right now, but they're all instrumentals.
Yep.
So there's no singing in any of them. But it's very interesting because, we know a lot of Nostalgia Ultra is not on Spotify, and then, we have these 2 accounts that people think are Frank Ocean, just releasing music, and it keeps getting taken down, whether it's by Frank or by someone else, but...
Yeah, I just think it, as you said before, it really just adds to the allure. It's like, it's so mysterious, It's like, A, he's not publishing under, his actual name, Frank Ocean, assuming it is him. And B, like, why does things keep being taken down? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I know that fans really love his music, and they're constantly uploading unreleased stuff and constantly uploading things that were taken down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder the same thing too, because he has so many songs. There's so many songs in gray on Spotify where it's all Frank Ocean, and you can't listen to it anymore.
Right. You just go to click on the track and it just won't play. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember when I first discovered Ocean 16, I was like, whoa, like what like Frank Ocean side quest is this? Like this is crazy.
It's so cool.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Do you think he's gonna release anything else soon?
I hope so, because I would love to go to a Frank Ocean concert. But I hope he releases something, because he hasn't released an album since 2016. 2016 was Blonde, and then his latest single, Cayendo, was 2020.
Yeah.
And he hasn't released anything on his main Spotify, Apple Music since. So hopefully something soon. When we're in college, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're both freshmen, so hopefully within the next 4 years he'll release an album. That'd be really cool.
That would be great.
But if not, I guess I understand, but we're hoping.
I understand, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But I just looked up, Frank Ocean new releases, and apparently he has confirmed something that's on the way at the Coachella Festival in 2023.
Oh my God.
So hopefully something's on the way. But again, Frank Ocean's also pretty mysterious. So
He's so mysterious.
his
Instagram?
we don't really know.
You just don't know what you're getting on his Instagram?
No, exactly. His Instagram's so crazy. This is really random. Have you ever seen John Cena's Instagram? His Instagram is the most random thing ever. He just posts random stuff, like nothing pertaining to
Snoop Dogg too?
Oh yeah,
Snoop Dogg's
like even
Instagram's
worse
so
than Snoop Dogg's Instagram.
worse?
John Cena will just post random memes and stuff, and like just random pictures from the internet. Like he won't post anything regarding or pertaining to him or his life at all. He'll just post random stuff. It's great. It's so funny. And even
that,
Frank Ocean too. Like obviously he doesn't post random stuff, but his Instagram's not very
It's not very well taken care of.
No, not at all. Not at all.
What else would you expect from Frank Ocean?
You got to keep up that mystery vibe, that mysterious vibe,
Yeah.
And I feel like it just sort of adds to it, And I don't know. I feel like social media can be either a really good thing or a really bad thing, especially for
totally
famous people and artists and stuff. Because one, it's a way to promote your stuff and sort of engage with your fans. But two, it could also be very sort of draining, mental health wise.
Oh, totally. With cancel culture, especially.
Totally. Yeah.
We've seen so many different musicians, actors, actresses, influencers be taken down by social media, whether it's by past tweets, whether it's by actions, and it can be a really dangerous place for your music and everything, because you could really score high and you could really become really famous off of social media and do a lot of good with your platform.
Yeah.
And other times, it's what takes you down.
Exactly.
So.
And even with just leaks and stuff too,
leaks
music
are horrible.
being leaked. I know the GTA 6 trailer just got leaked. And then Rockstar, the company who makes, Grand Theft Auto, went on to Twitter or X or whatever it's called and was like, yeah, our trailer just got leaked. So here's our actual trailer. Just go ahead and watch it.
Oh my God.
And they weren't even supposed to release it until another day in advance.
Really?
So they basically, their hand was forced. They were like, okay, yeah, our trailer got out. Just watch it on our channel.
Yeah.
That's so disappointing,
it's Ariana Grande had a problem with that, I think, recently, too, where a bunch of fans were releasing unreleased music.
Right.
And she tweeted about it, and she was like, why are you guys releasing unreleased music?
It's just hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
frustrating. Again, social media is such like a
It's a finicky place.
double-edged sword, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you wanted to mention about our buddy Frank?
I mean, I just think Frank Ocean, I don't know, he's unique.
Mhm.
His lyrics are so beautiful. You know, I highly suggest you read them on Spotify.
Totally, yeah.
Because, I don't know, I think that there's a lot of cool things that he puts in his lyrics.
Mhm.
Frank Ocean with Channel Orange and with Blonde,
Mhm.
two very distinct albums.
Yep.
But, you know, we love them. They fit
They're
very
great.
well together.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully we can expect some more Frank Ocean music because
Fingers crossed for that
Definitely dying for
2023
some
release,
more.
you know?
whether it's a
Coachella.
single, whether it's an album,
Just give us something. Like just
Just
give us
one
just give us
song.
something,
One
you know?
song,
Yeah,
please.
exactly. Yeah. No, but hopefully something soon.
hopefully something soon.
All right. This has been an episode about Frank Ocean. This is Let's Talk About Listening. I'm Max,
And I'm Ava.
and thanks for watching.